Ataji, namaskar.
Namaste, Gauravji. How are you?
I'm
I
very good.
don't know. I don't know whether to laugh or cry at the situation.
Right now, right? No travel, no nothing. The times are really crazy right now.
Very crazy.
Yeah.
And the mentally, we have to be the only way. So some one of the professor friends I have, she was saying her students were panicking. They don't know how to do login. I told her, hey, if they need technology help, you can call. So those are the things that HCI can do
Yeah.
to help, right? You can zoom in and teach a student how to log in because a lot of students now have to work from home. I mean, I have online classes. So the
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
that when people were saying what are the things that we can do to help, that is one. The other thing is some of the students are really they don't have food. So I told them, hey, if you want cereal boxes and if you need certain, I can get peanut butter jelly, all those things, put it in a bag and go and leave it out, whoever needs.
Yeah. Yeah. No contact is needed, but at least food can be
Yeah.
delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least till the government is going to do it, we people can do small things to help people, right?
Yeah. At least from what I was reading, my understanding is that at least on Twitter, people were saying that it's not that if even if you are infected, going to the hospital isn't going to help as much. You just need to
Stay home.
stay home and just stay connected. I think where we can help is I think connection gives you an immunity boost. The ability, there's just knowing that other people are out there concerned about you will automatically give you a immunity boost because you're not feeling lonely or disconnected or
Yeah,
distraught.
actually, right now I'm alone. My husband and my son, they're traveling from DC to Texas because he's moving. My older son is in Bay Area. For the last 2 weeks, I've been alone. I'm going to be alone for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Nobody's here.
yeah.
So I was just thinking, this was like a blessing. It's nice to meet people and talk to people,
Yeah,
right?
no, exactly. So just checking in with each other, and
Yeah,
also through this process, hopefully, also if other people we can reach out to other people individually, then
yeah.
that's great because then at least some people know that they have someone to talk to, something
There
to.
is a force who is there to help you. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah. The other benefit I find is with rhythm. If you have a rhythm of checking in with people, right?
Yeah,
Then they anticipate, they live for that check-in the next time,
yeah.
right? And that itself is good because it brings structure to the day. Otherwise, we're all going to be in our homes for a full month, right?
Yeah.
Every day will look the same as the next. There is
Yeah,
no,
now you might get in. Mental health is going to be very, very important to
yeah,
keep your mental health healthy, right?
yeah,
People, even in the house, right? They have to make a schedule for them, do exercise, climb staircase up and down.
exactly.
These are the things that we can advise people when people call us, right?
Yeah,
They have
just
to
make it a
pace up
checklist
and
for people. Yeah, have you done
yeah,
this? Have you done this? Are you
yes,
eating? Are you sleeping? Are you
yes,
meditating? Are you getting
yeah,
exercise? All of those things. Maybe you can just make a checklist and just check with each other or for people around us.
yeah. At least we should, like you say, roll it out for our people, our CHT scholars, and then people can do that for others. Each
Yeah,
person, we are like 40 scholars, each one can reach out to 5-10 people
right.
and then have a Zoom for people to call, and maybe it's like an online HCI where
Yeah,
people counseling, where we can do simple counseling like that. Hey, did you do exercise today?
yeah.
If a person is feeling depressed, okay, let's do some pranayama, right?
So even breathing pranayam that we'll do today, we can do it every day. With all of
Every
us,
day.
so many of us are yoga teachers, right? So any
No,
of
I
us,
think we can do it for us every day, set a time. People were suggesting 3 o'clock is not good because people are working. So maybe
hmm,
6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the evening
who's
before
working?
dinner.
Everyone's working from home. They can take time out.
That's true. That is true. They can take a break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Hello, Amnutji. How are you?
Namaskar.
I'm fine.
Anuji,
Where are
after
you?
we didn't get to speak after your father's
Yeah,
death.
I'm at home. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Ganpati ji, namaskar. Why your video is not working?
Everyone should
Yeah.
be on video.
Everyone should be on video. There are no strangers on this call.
Yes.
Oh, anyway, on my laptop, like, there's a speaker because, I
Oh,
attend so
right.
many calls, right? So, yeah,
We can see your post-it note.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Savita ji, namaskar.
Where is Sanmay Bhaiya?
I'm going to have to repeat for everyone that there are no strangers on this call. Everyone has to have their video on, unless you have a post-it note on it, in which case we know. Namaskar, Savita ji. We can't hear you. And Nataji, I was thinking this
Yeah.
yoga class, right? I for my tempo people, I just set up a yoga class. But if people want to check in generally for the community, and that's not even just SCI, we could just say, look, 7 a.m. one of us will do yoga. We'll put it on Zoom. Just join us. People need some schedule, some workout and yoga schedule, right? What do you think?
Yeah, and everybody now has a laptop or a computer. They can
Yeah.
put it in and check it out.
Even on their phone, they can put it and just go on mute.
Yeah.
Ganpati, namaskar.
So you're recording this, right?
This is being recorded. Yes, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, so we can think about it maybe, and that's not an HCI thing. We can just make it available to anyone who wants to attend
To
the class.
anyone.
Every day at a certain time, there's a yoga class where we do breathing, pranayam, and some asanas. Attend and
And we can take turns. We have so
yeah,
many
exactly.
teachers.
There's all of us are yoga teachers. So many of us, right?
Yeah.
So we can just take turns. Think, Monday is this person, Tuesday is this person.
Yeah. How many people we have so far?
8.
I'll send reminders. Let's see.
Yeah.
I have another meeting 8, so I'll just exit at 8. Okay.
Yeah, I think we will try to wrap up by 8.
Let me call Sanmay. Hold on.
Sure, sure. So
Okay. Thank you. People are waiting for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. He's getting in.
Okay, great. Kailash, namaskar.
I think you should ask everyone to show their faces.
Yeah, everyone, there are no strangers on this bridge, so please put on your video so we can see you. Get some value for money from your internet connection.
I think I put mine on.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can see you, Kailash. Yes. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Sanjay ji, briefly saw you, but now we can't.
Oh no, I think I'm seeing myself. I don't know.
No, Kailash, just press the. So there is a button. There's an icon with many dots on it, right? That's the icon.
Hello?
You want.
Yeah.
Sanjay, namaskar. We can see you and hear you. I'm going
Okay,
to start you.
Hello.
Sanjay ji, we
Hi,
can hear
Sanmay
you.
Bhaiya. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you. I was bringing my app up through a website, which I also have, called mandukya.org. That's easier to share the screens. I think I got some multiple screens here, but
Okay.
that's fine. We are going to get it. Okay, so, shall I start or what?
Can we give? Okay, it's already 7:32. Okay. We have 14 participants. Maybe we should start, right, Gauraji?
I think we should start. Sanaji, we'll do this frequently enough so we can.
Yeah. So
yeah.
quick, man, the whole thing, the whole idea is to, and the idea came to me because, I have done similar things in the past also on other flu-like symptoms when I was at Department of Health Services. And so we had a little experience on this. And so before I delve into the process and what to do, and I think once you see it, you'll see most of us here already know about those things. But the whole idea is why I did the way I did it. So, there is a principle of stimulation and relaxation, which comes from basically the Nalaya Sambhodaya Chittam, the Manduka Karika. Which is basically if the mind is at in the tamasic state, stimulated to bring it up at the level what it should be. If the mind is highly stimulated, calm it down at a relaxed position somewhere in between. So that is kind of the gist of the whole idea of what we need to do. So there's often a question that comes is, hey, you are depressed or you are agitated, why don't you just do a little meditation and that will calm you down? It can, and it does to a certain extent, but it has been seen through various studies and also through experience, traditional knowledge, as well as some scientific knowledge, that it's probably better to, if the mind is not where it should be, like specifically when it's in a very down state, it needs to be stimulated and then brought it back to a state of comfort, into the state of zone. That zone we need to find out by stimulating the mind. A similar example can be given to, like for example, a lake is very clean from outside, but below there could be a lot of dirt. And how do you take all of that dirt out? You need to stimulate the water and then suck it out. Something similar. It's an analogy. If like in the water in India, water tanks they had sedimentation. If you just take the water out, that doesn't work. If you want to clean it, then you need to stir it up, clean the whole thing out, and then bring new fresh water. So stimulation, and the other thing is any vyadhi, always when it gets becomes a vyadhi, when those stress triggers becomes a vyadhi, eventually manifests as a vyadhi, it's already in a very stabilized state. It's like that sedimentation. So the idea is to, again, the same concept, we need to stimulate it and then bring it up down. So another analogy is if you're going, say you are climbing a mountain, you go up, you stop somewhere, then you go up and stop somewhere, you go up and stop somewhere. You just don't jump from below to the top. Same thing in the journey inside, we stimulate, we relax deeply. So relaxation is deeper than stimulation. Then again, stimulate and relax deeply. And that way we take our journey deeper inside. So another thing from yoga, shastra or even from a yoga point of view is you don't jump from tamasic to sattvic in one shot. You do in steps and use rajas, which is the stimulation, to stir it up, and then you slowly move from a tamasic to a sattvic state. So based on that principle, and I have treated several diseases with the same principle, and I do some cancer patients and other patients on this. That principle is kind of my guiding thing for a lot of the disease that I deal with, and this particular one is kind of the same, in the same line. So the first what I did was I stimulated the body. I stimulated the body with dynamic exercises. So, and in my app doesn't capture the whole thing, but it's just a start. I'm going to make some modifications to it and taking some, it takes a little bit to back and forth between India. So the first thing is I'm doing a dynamic, Parvatasana, Bhujangasana swing, which is basically downward dog and cobra. And that swing is giving you a stimulation. So if you do a few rounds, it will stimulate your heart. You will get it up, but at a higher heart rate. Your spinal cord is being swung up and down, and that creates a lot of impact on the spinal cord and the nervous system. There are few studies that these dynamic processes have some impact on the immunoregulatory system and uploading of the immuno system into a much more stabilized form. So, so that's kind of the first thing. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking that physical stimulation. So basically the dynamic duo combination postures followed by a very fast Surya Namaskar. 12-step, but fast Surya Namaskar. And then I want to get into a bridge where I'm going into the, from the body, I'm going into the basically the breath, and using the same principle at the breath level, doing a fast exhalation, breathe out quickly, and then slowly come down to a longer period of, much more stabilizing and calming breath. Those are foundationally Anulam Vilam and yogic breathing, and then ultimately end up with a Bhramari, which is Bhramari I have used in certain cancer cases where basically in brain cancer specifically, the Bhramari has a direct impact on the vagal and the 10th cranial and the vagal system, nervous system. And it's stabilizing. Basically, it enhances the parasympathetic, makes you calmer, gives you the ability to fight diseases in a much better way. So those are the principles based on which this has been developed. So we start with a question. Yeah, question? Okay, so I'll just show you then that app itself, like the postures itself, quickly. I'm showing it from the web. My app can be also triggered from a web called mandukya.org. Let me go there.
So,
Sanmesh,
Sanmay
what
Bhaiya,
are
I
the
be going.
postures?
Go ahead.
What are the alternating postures at the beginning? Paschimottanasana and then?
Bhujangasana, swing.
Bhujangasana and Parvatasana swing.
Yeah, not Paschimottanasana, sorry.
Yeah.
Parvatasana
Parvatasana.
and Bhujangasana swing. So downward dog and cobra.
Okay.
We can also do Paschimottanasana, Halasana also, right?
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
So you can even dance. That's the point. Is we are stimulating ourselves, but the yogic dynamic postures are more effective. And I have seen, not in this context, but in other contexts, I have seen that because it has a spinal stimulation. When you are doing a swing like that, you are directly impacting your vertebrae. And thereby,
Bhujangasana, or are you doing Urdhva Mukha Svanasana? So
yeah, so downward dog basically, and then cobra.
Can we demonstrate?
Yes.
so
Let me show. So this is a combined dynamic yogic pose. Can you see this screen?
No. You have to share it with us.
Arupji, what is about mandukya.org? What is the website?
Mandukya.org, mandukya.org, and then you play the web. I'm surprised you cannot see it because I am sharing my desktop.
I don't think you're sharing, Bhaiya.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if it is why it's not sharing. Hold on. It should share again. Hold on.
Before we go on, Gauraji, how long is this meeting going to be? Just for other people to know.
I think we're going till 8 o'clock, so another 20 minutes.
Okay, so I wanted to see, Sanmay Bhaiya, are you going to do some deep breathing practices today?
I'm going to just talk about it because I believe most of you would know what I'm talking about.
No, it might be worth practicing.
Yeah, I don't think, many people may not know. I think we should do some pranayama, some deep breathing, Bhastrika and all that, right?
Okay, we'll do that.
I think these dynamic stuff we can do even next time because
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out why it's not sharing it.
Okay, tell me the website again, mandukya.org or?
Mandukya.org.
and then maybe you can share, Gauravji.
I'm getting a 404
I'm getting a
error
404 on
message.
mandukya.org.
Yeah, same thing.
mandukya.org.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting
I'm here.
404.
Maybe you might be looking at a cached version. So this is what we are seeing. We're seeing
Okay.
404 not found. Is this the website?
Yeah, this is the website.
Oh, yeah.
Give a www. This should not happen, but give a www just in case. Shouldn't be.
Oh,
Okay.
it did work. Okay. All right. So now we'll
Okay,
Oh.
I actually was not sharing, so let me
Okay.
share. I think that will be easier.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's come back up. So I'm going into the app. It has a few things. I'm going through the 15-minute practice. So it's called Taste Wellness. And
Yeah, let's
then
do that.
and there's a whole bunch of things. And then we go to the last one. I'll bring this up in the forefront.
You've shared only the browser. So we're only seeing your browser, not the pop out from that.
You can't see the pop out?
No.
Okay. New share, shall I give a new share?
Yeah, just new share and then just switch to the profile.
It's a dynamic posture.
You can't see it now?
No.
Why don't you share them?
Okay,
I don't want to waste them.
Okay, let me share. Okay.
I'll do a stop share here.
Yeah.
That'll be better because you can do the practice for us.
Yeah. That's good.
Here, and I go here, and it comes to this. Okay. So do you want me to play this?
Yeah. Just play it. Again, these videos and this whole site has been done on shoestring budget, so it's not the most professional looking ones, but they do the job. And so basically, you are going into the Parvatasana and then go into Bhujangasana, inhaling up and exhaling into Parvatasana. In my routine or in my classes, I'm telling them to do 10 times.
Is
Very
this the
quickly.
speed you want us to be at?
You're calling it Parvatasana, but you're doing Adho Mukhasana, isn't it?
No, yeah. So otherwise, it's not.
This is another name for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Adho Mukha Shwan and Parvatasana or downward dog.
Parvatasana, yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I think the speed is a little slow here. At least when I do it pretty fast.
Yeah, when I do it, I'm like,
Yeah.
but maybe
Yeah.
I jackknife.
This is a slower one.
This is
And-
teaching, basically just teaching.
Exactly. So that's the first one, 10 seconds, 10 thing, half a minute, that will be done. So that's one. Then we do a fast Surya Namaskar, 10, 12 step. These are all basically what I learned from S. Vyasa. That I have introduced some other couple of things, but this is a typical classical S. Vyasa 12 step, but this is there everywhere actually. This is the classical thing, and I'm trying to do this, so it may not look that good, but does the job.
But hey, if you do it at a waterfall, why not?
I got stuck. Looks like. So.
So Sanmay Bhai, I wanted to tell you that some people have a time only up to 8.
Yeah,
So it'd be nice
we'll
to
do that.
Yeah.
So then then I'm doing a squeeze and relax. So after that, so at this point, your heart rate, if you have done it fast enough, your heart rate is pretty high up. And then now I'm trying to slow it down. So you can do this or the squeeze and release. So it's quickly squeeze, a 1 second hold and release. Squeeze, release. You can do an IRT or simple lie down and relax to bring your heart rate down.
This is some kind of Uddiyana Bandha, you are trying to do the squeeze?
Yeah,
Not Uddiyana Bandha, it's just a simple squeeze and release. So you can replace this, and I would actually do that. You just lie down after this. Your heart rate is pretty high at this point after the 2. If you do it fast enough, you lie down and take your heart rate down. Basically, you take some deep breath. Maybe you lie down in a corpse position, and either you do an IRT or just simply observe your breath and bring it down.
fair enough.
So that gives the physical stimulation and relaxation. And then I go into Kapalbhati. Now you go into the breath layer. We do Kapalbhati, a fast Kapalbhati. Now, again, in my class, I tell them what conditions and all of that. Here, I just put it in. I would like to give some conditional statements here, what to do, what not to do. But for a normal, healthy person who doesn't have other issues, very high BP or some issues with the tummy, herniatic issues, or severe back problem, other than those typical things that you avoid in a Kapalbhati. If you are not in that group, you can do that Kapalbhati very strongly, fast, not strongly, I would say fast, in 120 in 60 seconds. So it's a quick exhalation.
Oh, really? That fast? I usually say 60 and 60.
Yeah, I know. But see, again, I'm trying to do this is a 10-minute routine I'm doing for the masses. People will not have much time. So I'm giving a quick shot and then relaxing back into. So
that's the pace you're at. Okay.
yeah, and that's the pace I'm doing. And then I'm getting into the I think what did I show you? Yogic breathing, is that
Yeah, this is yogic breathing.
Yogic breathing. So basically a sectional breathing, full yogic breathing. Some people who are new to this will have problems with full yogic breathing. I tell them to do just belly breathing. So inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, around 10 times again. And so start coming down. And then after that is, can you bring it up, the next one?
Anulam Vilam.
Anulam Vilam. So Anulam Vilam, again, Nasika Mudra or the other mudras, if you are in a different yogic system, do that, left to right. I normally tell my folks not to put pressure on the end of the nostrils, but to just put a little tap at the ridge of the nose, like in the middle of the nose. That stops the breathing. And I tell them to do very softly without making sound, as if you are not breathing. That way you have a total control over your breath. And then you are also focused on the breath itself, because that will keep you engaged with the breath itself. And which is also very important in yogic practices. You basically stay in that moment. You even while the pain management, if instead of just doing it, if you focus on the pain itself, and then this Prayatna Saitilla, you actually then Ananda Samapatti, you just basically focus and then dissipate into the universe. And that's where a lot of, in Prasanthi, I've worked with, while I was doing my master's, I worked with a case where guy had a knee pain and could not get out. He was a meditator, he knew yoga, but he could not get rid of it. And then Didi gave advice to the gentleman that you focus on the pain itself and then dissipate the pain out. And for some reason, and obviously the right reasons, he got out of it. So that's a kind of subtle differences. But in the class, I don't teach that much. This is a quick routine. So get in, get out, quickly do as much as you can. Just get your immune system stimulated. Your breath is stimulated. Now you have your have your parasympathetic and sympathetic in balance. And the quick exercises are also releasing some of the happy hormones, which will do good to your immunity. And then eventually you do Anulam Vilam and then Bhramari. And Bhramari, I'm doing 5 rounds. The Bhramari, mouth closed, tongue touching the palate, upper palate. And then if you have some time, do simple meditation. I have kept a meditation which is quite long, but in the class I tell them to just in the last 1 minute, just do a simple observation of the breath, and then get out of the practice. So that is a simple thing. I've been doing it for the last 1 month. Every yoga classes I'm teaching. Most of the times I'm getting positive reviews. And then of course there are modifications for some people who cannot do a fast, those fast physical yogas, or like the Surya Namaskar and Parvatasana, Bhujangasana swing. I modify that in a chair, and some of you probably know, but I can show that the next time we meet or talk, we can do that. So the principle again is stimulation and relaxation, coming from Manduka Karika, and then using Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Sthira Sukham, Prayatna Saitalla Ananta Samapatti, and basically releasing your inner world to the outer cosmos. That is the yogic way of explanation. And the scientific explanation is it's basically stimulating your nervous system. Your hormones the right hormones are getting released. There are a whole bunch of hormones that are impacted by it. You're upregulating your inflammation. Inflammatory conditions are upregulated. Your breath, bringing in your Pingala or the sympathetic parasympathetic balance, and so forth. Now, if somebody is detected with a virus, what will happen? I have not tried it because I have not met a guy like that. So this is purely a preventative thing, and a small compact routine, doable by most people.
So under which category this particular routine is there? There are states.
Pardon, I didn't get you.
Catch the question.
No, under which category this routine is there? There are enjoy wellness.
Yeah, it's a taste wellness. It's a 15-minute routine. I think it is the last one I added, so it's at the end. But you can do a search. See if you see it comes out Corona.
Okay.
I want to bring it up in the front. I want to bring it up. I'm working with the guys. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, if for those who are dropping off, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, I have my usual yoga class. I'm putting it on Zoom. And tomorrow I'm covering Neti, Jal Neti, and Pranayam. So I'll do the cleansing and Pranayam. If you want to join at that time, 8 o'clock, I'll send the link to whoever wants to.
Okay, send me the link, I'll join.
No, Sanmay, you're a master. This is for everybody else.
Oh, okay.
You don't join, I'll be conscious.
Okay, yeah. No problem. Yeah.
Hello, Sanmayji. Yeah. I think you have this is a calming down sequence of various yogic and the pranayam combinations. I think one of the big questions now is the lung capacity and your nasal path, cleaning it up. And so I think this Neti thing might be an interesting one tomorrow that Gauraji is talking about. But which of the does the Kapal Bhati does that? Is that a lung capacity? Does that increase lung capacity, or is it which is the best pranayama for?
So Kapalbhati typically, again, this again the principle is always has to be stimulation and relaxation. That's how I believe in. It doesn't has to be like that. But Kapalbhati is used a lot of times for asthma patients or any congestion of the lung, provided the person has no other conditions contraindicated by other diseases. It is quite safe at that time. But if he has other issues, we would have to modify that.
You got to be careful.
Sometimes I do slow Kapalbhati to mitigate any risks.
So it's actually for elderly people, Kapalbhati to do that much, like I think 20 or 30 is good enough.
Yeah, could be.
Beyond that, for elderly people, especially, we are worried about. But should we do one small 10-minute session of pranayama now to conclude?
It's already 8 o'clock. So
yeah, I think time maybe little.
Okay, so we can just join Gauravji tomorrow then.
Yeah, we
and
can
then maybe we can set up some time and do maybe before dinner or something at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. We should do
every day, right?
Yeah.
We can take turns and do. Each one of us can do pranayama and meditation for about 20-25 minutes.
I think you can call out if you desire to present something. Why don't we keep 7:30 as a fixed time, and then have people offer to say, I'm coming at 7:30 today with this, and then you have a clarity of who's going to do it, and then we can join in.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
So can I say 7:30 might be close to dinner time or after? For this thing, I think 6 might be better because people will have an empty stomach.
That's fine. I'm flexible. I'm just proposing because we started it today.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I already had my dinner. I didn't want to do a Kapalbhati now.
Yeah.
But for the pranayama sessions, even if it is late, okay. But any other body stimulation or any respiratory stimulation things, we should not do after food. Pranayama is okay.
No, pranayama also preferably before food, Krishna.
I think anything.
Especially Kapalbhati, you don't do with full stomach.
I'm sorry, meditation.
Does anyone want to take tomorrow? Anyway, morning we're doing with Gauravji, so we can skip tomorrow. But
Monday.
Sunday evening, does anyone want to sign?
I'm okay. I'm there.
Yeah, great. So we'll just maybe announce a daily 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So you have the Zoom number.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants to hold a session,
Yes,
we'll
put it out.
Put it out and say, I'm doing this session at this time, this day, and whoever wants to join can join. That's probably the better way to go.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Lataji, why don't you create a spreadsheet and put there so that whoever want to put there, they'll put it there.
We'll do a Google Docs. But actually, Kailashji is right, because if you put it out in Zoom, then people will see.
Yeah, that's right. Lataji, this class we can open to people. If it's simply guided meditation, we can open it to people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. This was wonderful.
Thank you. Good start.
We talked about opening it up, so you let us know. If you're opening up or not.
We should open it. If it's just meditation, then we should open it.
Yeah, we'll do pranayama and meditation. I think that'll take 30 minutes. We can do that. Nadanusandhana and all that. It'll be nice.
Okay.
And every day, different teacher with different style. It'll be nice.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.